All right, time for another stream. Let's continue this thing. And I think that's, I mean, I can always add some. G'day, Mumbo Django. My lord. G'day, man. Chainsaw Man Use is cool. I mean, having a part 2 in the web format, I think is neat. It's interesting to see where it's going to go. Who knows where they'll take the story at this point. I'm very looking forward to the anime. Hopefully that does quite well. I'm not really sure about the studio that's handling it, but I mean, with them juggling so many projects at this point, we'll see if they'll end up hiring a bunch of freelancers from outside, which might benefit them, to be honest, because then depending on who they can actually get, they might be able to get some, really good ones. But I don't know. It's going to be tricky because it's just going to be tricky. And I think, like with everything that gets brought from one medium to another, there's always the fan expectations, you know, that people bring. And rarely does it, you know, like how often do they actually meet those expectations? Like I'm thankful enough just to get something. So whether it's good or bad, it's something. If it's good, great. If it's bad, then I don't have to watch that. You know what I'm saying? And sure, like if people end up like, you know, if people who aren't familiar with the manga judge it based solely on the anime, which may or may not be good, that's entirely on them. So it's not like, you know, it's not like it's any stress on my back, because if they like it or not, that's fine. I know what I think about it, so I'm gonna enjoy it whether or not they will, if that makes sense. But I'm looking forward to it. I think part one, as it is a very interesting book. We'll see where part two leads. That, you know, so yeah. Oh, I didn't see the Nendoroids. I will, like, that's the thing, like, if anything, this anime news is great because I'm now looking forward to merchandise, I suppose. Like, I'd love it if 3-0 got the license to do, say, 1/6 figures, or like Sentinel did like 1/12 scale figures. I'd 100% snap those up. Those are things are made, like, those designs are basic, like, especially the devil designs. They're like designed to be made into merchandise. So, like a Pachita plush would be dope. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm looking forward to all the extra stuff that comes along with it. Now, I'm sure a lot of people from outside are going to think, oh, this is just the hype. This is just the current hype thing. But, you know, we'll see. See, the Nendoroids? Absolutely, I'm going to snap them up. But yeah, I would love other scaled figures. I don't want, like, if there's any company I don't want to do action figures of, I don't want Figmas, because I just don't want Figmas. I'd rather, you know, SH Figure Arts, to be honest, with their articulations and whatnot. But, like, get a company like Sentinel or something on it. Or like even better, like Thousand Toys. Thousand Toys has got the license for Dorohedoro. Get for the 1/12 ones. Just get them. Or again, like, if it's 1/6, go for like 3-0. Because their Dorohedoro figures look fantastic. And their One Punch Man figures look fantastic too. The 3-0 ones. So, if depending on the scales and whatnot, but yeah, just don't let it be Figma. They wouldn't do it. I mean, Yamaguchi, Revoltech, they would be amazing. Although, you know, with the current rate of a lot of these things, they'd be coming out like what, late next year, if anything. Like, we got the Nendoroids. I'm gonna get them because they look cool. And of course, they're gonna make Power, because she's like the most she's the most popular character. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be quite cool. So yeah, like, if I was a statue guy, I would absolutely, but I'm not a statue guy. I like to be able to pose things, you know, like put them in their own, like, especially with the designs of Chainsaw Man, they're almost made to be, you know, posed, I guess, but we'll see. That's why I think 3-0 would handle it well, because they do the fabric stuff, but yeah, again, like, all this extra stuff is just bonus. The manga is, I'm there for the manga, so long as the manga continues to be good and entertaining, then I'll maintain, you know, being a fan of that. Anime is just a bonus. That's why no one ever says, oh, the anime is not as good. It's like, that's fine. I mean, if you're an only anime watcher, then I could see where that's a problem. But if you're already in it from the start, then there's really no issues there, you know? I'm glad this one's a hit, because, like, Fire Punch was a very weird one. I'm hoping it doesn't take the direction of Fire Punch. Oh, probably. Like, I was reading Chainsaw Man from the start. And it's weird because, like, no one was talking about it either, because I was like, come on, man, like, just the design alone should be enough to at least intrigue you, you know. So yeah, I usually like hop on with the fan art fairly quickly. Like that, like I'm not sure if you're reading Kaiju number 8. That one's I'm digging that one a lot. In terms of like just being a straight up shonen, that one feels fully like a straight up shonen. So that one's quite good. I quite like that one. The artwork's really nice and clean too. Fun designs. Yeah, Kaiju number 8 is just, it feels good to read, if that makes sense. The pacing is good. I like that, you know, it has a break every month too, so it's nice for the artist. You don't want to like overwork the artist. I think when people get too used to like 4 chapters a month, it's, you know, they set a standard, and I think three chapters a month is well more than enough. The world building's fantastic. Like, I would love to see, I kind of like that first chapter got me where it's the whole cleanup crew, and I'm thinking that there's going to be more of that eventually, but I can see why they had to leap to the whole, okay, he's now they're following the actual the military guys, and that's cool. That's cool too. Even if it's not a spin-off, like even if it was if we were introduced to a character that's part of them, and then we go back and forth, you know, like back to them every now and then, I think that'd be quite neat. But no, I like that one a lot. I'm enjoying that one quite a bit. Alright, what am I doing? I've not been reading that. I checked out the first chapter when it first came out, but I didn't get a chance to continue, and I might start again from the start. In regards to reading, I don't think I'll be able to watch it. It's just quicker for me to read. Watching, I need to pay too much attention to it, if that makes sense. Like, whereas reading, I can get through a few chapters in the same length of time as an episode. So I'll most likely read that from the start again. I mean, the fact that it's on the app is great. That app is fantastic. Like, it's too good. I think if more titles just were on that, it'd be better. There's so many manga online that, you know, I end up buying like the hard copy, even if it's in Japanese and I can't read it, just to support the actual book itself. Yeah, and that's like that's the thing. If it's not for you, then there's no real point in like continuing it. I think the concept is neat. But yeah, I'll need to like, it usually takes either the first story arc or like three or 4 chapters before I can decide if it's for me. Whereas like with an anime, usually it takes about I usually give it about 3 episodes, but then that's what, an hour, a little close to an hour. Whereas if I read 3-4 chapters, 20-25 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, depending. It's a lot easier to get to. This part of the process, yeah. This is it's a lot of trial and error. It's just figuring out what it is I'm trying to do. Like, what I'm doing now is, obviously there's like that little light at the back, so I'm just gonna do a bit of a rim light, I suppose. Oh, it's really windy outside. So we'll see how this goes. I've got about 45 minutes left. I don't know if this is going to get finished by then. I was going to stream during the weekend, but I decided to just sleep in instead, or at least just take a few extra minutes, and I just didn't feel like it. Even if I did work, I didn't do warm-ups. I just went straight to work. I just didn't hop straight into work, really, which is fine. That's probably better. Let's just get to the main stuff. I'm going to pick my lighting source. I guess we can do it there. That's 5. Oh, okay. Maybe I should do that less. No, let's do less. Oh, that'll do. Whatever. Let me darken that thing a little bit. But it's too dark. Hmm. 30. 20. It'll do. Yep, this is the part where I start sculpting, basically. This is the fun part, really. Drawing is fun. Flatting is not. Shading is fun. So you gotta get through a couple of steps before you get back. So yeah, couple of steps. But it gets there eventually. It's pretty creepy, I guess. Yeah, the process posts are good because, I mean, I make those step-by-step stuff for Patreon, but I figured may as well share them on everywhere else after the fact as well. But yeah, those are, you see it, like, seeing that it actually come to life here is a little different from just seeing each step as they come along. Like, you don't see this part in those versions. Ugh. It's just all these, look at these annoying garbage. Ah, crap, I forgot to share it on. I'll do it after. I was supposed to make one of the previous streams available on YouTube, but I forgot to make it public. I'll do it after this. Like, I could obviously share more, but there's no real point. Like, seeing the, seeing the color flats to the render is quite interesting, because sometimes it is quite a leap. It can be quite a leap. It's so windy outside. So windy. Yeah, no problem. The process is, I mean, again, if I've got the images saved, I don't see why I wouldn't share them, you know? So, it's all good. Actually, because of Brocktober, because of all the posts I was doing for Brocktober, it's somewhat delayed a lot of the Patreon stuff that I would have been sharing all month. We were in December, so I should be sharing October's, but I'm still on August's uploads. So yeah, there's a lot of I guess catching up, but then it's good because I can now post things without having to create anything new, I guess. Get a cup of coffee. Save the file. How many days do I plan to have holidays? I don't really have holidays. I don't know, I'll take Christmas Day off. Probably. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so. I'll have moments within a day, I guess. I don't know. What date is Christmas fall? Oh, it's a Friday. Yeah, I'll take the Friday off, I guess. No, I'll take that weekend off. But we'll see. We'll see. I say I'll take it off, but I'll probably still end up streaming or drawing in general. Mm-hmm. Shaping up. What have I got for work today? I think I'm coloring today. So it is actually quite a good warm-up for that. It's so much like doing these in the morning and then hopping on to work to do a similar job, I suppose, is always kind of like, it shows how easy these are for me. Because, you know, rendering one character so much more simpler than rendering multiple characters. And it's just like, come on, man. It's so time consuming because I kind of treat each individual character with the same amount of detail, I suppose, and focus. So I really like need to figure out to do less of that. I don't know what the light source is going to be for this proper anyways. So if that's that, is it going to hit any of that? I guess I could just do it across here. Then put the shadows there. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. So as you can probably tell, I'm kind of winging the lighting here. There's really like, I figured the lighting would go across that way. Primary lights would cut across here. So this part's going to be in shadow, that part's going to be in shadow. But where the light hits is tricky. Because I'm still kind of just like, it's a lot of guesstimation. My stomach's making some hunger sounds. Maybe I'll eat after this. Eat some breakfast. We'll see. So yeah, the lighting is lighting here is going to be really interesting. But that's kind of like, that's the fun part of these morning warm-up deals. It's a lot of trial and error. Like, I don't really switch much up in terms of the process, I guess, but the color choices and yeah, the color choices and the lighting is where I get to experiment. And that's fun for me. No, I planned on rereading that from the start, but it's just time, really, and I have to be in the mood for it. That's with everything. If I'm not, if I don't really feel like it at the time, then I'm not going to give it its full attention, and it won't do. It won't do it any good, you know. Like I'm unfairly judging it, if that's if you want to say, if you want to call it that. Like I won't give it its fair chance. And I feel like there's a lot of things that I haven't really watched that I've avoided watching because I know that if I'm not in the mood for it and I watch it and I can see it's good, but I'm not in the mood, then it's not gonna stick with me, you know? Like I've been told to watch the Harley Quinn show, the new one, the cartoon, and you know, it was good, but I don't care enough to continue. I think it's because when I actually gave it a shot, I just watched it because I was told to watch it, as opposed to me feeling like watching it. And, you know, will I continue? I don't know. Maybe. But right now, I don't care. Like the characters are cool. Animation, it's funny. It's actually funny. Yeah, and I'm not gonna disagree with that. Like Alan Tudyk is amazing. He's like one of the best in general. In like nearly everything he's in, he's kind of a standout awesome. And I think the voice casting, the animation is fantastic. I don't really care. Yeah, it's tough. Like it's not even like yeah, I felt like I was, because it was there, I had to watch it because I've been told, repeatedly told, constantly. It's like give it a shot, give it a shot. It's like yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot. But then if I'm not in the mood, it's not, I'm not doing it any good by watching it then or reading it then, you know. That's why it's tricky. I don't know, but it's there. It's not going anywhere. When I do end up feeling, if I feel like it, it's gonna be available for me to actually peep, and I'll check it out again. Just not right now. Regardless of how good it is, And again, like it's good. I enjoyed it, but there's a ton of stuff that I haven't caught up or checked out. That lighting's fine. Nice. I haven't been watching anything lately. Honestly, I'd rather at this point, like I have more fun rewatching stuff that I'd seen before. Because I know what it is. I know I enjoyed it and I'm in the mood for it. So it's easy for me to get into stuff like that or just rewatch stuff like that than check out something new. And it's not that nothing new is not good. It's just it takes more effort to actually peep it. Alright, that looks fine. It's tricky. I mean, not everything's going to be made for us, so... And that's perfectly fine. Not everything's supposed to be. But now it's like if you don't enjoy something, you're wrong. And it's like, okay, I guess I'm wrong then. Yeah, it's I can understand, like, you know, somebody's excitement over something and they want to share their excitement. And I'm willing to give things a shot. Absolutely, I'm open to that. But I have to be in the right mindset and mood for it. And if I'm not, and I do decide to check it out, and it's not for me, it could be solely on because of, you know, how I'm feeling. And then I'm not automatically, by checking it out at that point, I'm not giving it a fair shot because I'm already not, I'm not invested. I can't. So it's almost like that was, it defeated its purpose in a way. It didn't do its job. Which then sucks because it's like, had I checked it out when I was in the mood for it, I may have enjoyed it. I may have loved it. But it's fine. Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. This lighting is interesting here. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think it looks fine. This will not be finished in this session. This will be finished tomorrow. Yeah, because there's just too much stuff to cover. I totally didn't, you know, consider all this veiny garbage detail, which he has. I gotta think of I gotta pick a next character that's not gonna be super detailed, because it'll be a little bit easier to get through. Cover more ground, I guess. I am liking the results though, so that's fine. I don't want to tackle Black Sperm because not yet. He hasn't really made his major appearance yet in the anime, and I'm only doing the anime appearance characters because I don't want to spoil it for people who may not have gotten up to this part, or, you know, up to date with the manga yet, or the webcomic. I mean, if I was to do the webcomic characters, then we'd be way further than this. Crablante I already did. He actually, he was the third. I think it may have been, no, he's the fourth one that I drew. Yeah. Actually, he's, no, I'm not posting him next. The next one I'm posting, because obviously I finished pieces and I haven't uploaded them yet. I've only uploaded 2 so far. I think I uploaded what, Boros and Deep Sea King, but this is the, let me check how far I am actually, how many I've done. I think this is the 6th one. How far am I? Working files, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7th one. This is the 7th one. Yeah, there's no point in like spread posts, you know. I mean, at least depending on how much you're producing per time, you know, like, that's why I was like, oh cool, these warm-ups are going to be good, because at least this way it's content. One, I get, and plus I get to draw things that aren't work related, which is always a nice break for me. You know, while I enjoy what I'm drawing for work, it's not It's drawing things that aren't work related is a treat. At least I see it as a treat. So does that work lighting wise? I don't know. I don't even know, man. So yeah, I'm about 7 in. This is the 7th one. So there's a slew of them that I haven't tackled yet. I want to tackle more from the tournament. Looking back, there's actually not a lot from Boros's invasion arc. Not a lot of standouts, anyways. Because I'm not just going to draw every mysterious being. I'm picking and choosing, I suppose. And there's also not many females. And that's fine, it's what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna chose. I was gonna pick him. He's gonna be, if not this week, next week. I think his design was fantastic. What he turned into. Yeah, there's a handful of good ones. He was a good design. He was all around solid design, that one. So I'm gonna definitely draw his monster form. But yeah, there's a couple. Like I'm gonna draw Vaccine Man, the blue Piccolo. Don't know yet which version, whether or not it's gonna be his crazy form or, you know, his blue Piccolo version. But I don't know yet. I don't know. That's the thing. Like the eyes, yeah, the eyeball, the octopus thing. There's a couple. There's a lot of fun designs in this thing. I don't know if I should do that lighting there. Yes, I could. Could do that lighting there. I'll do that lighting there. Is it blocked in by that, or is it under? Maybe it's under. Yeah, it's probably under. Alright, I got about 10 minutes left of today's stream. I will continue this again tomorrow, same time. If you want to see the continuation of this, you can watch it then. But I do archive each of these videos onto YouTube. But I don't upload them straight away, so we're actually a little bit behind then. Yep. He's the one I'd finished before this one, so Guketsu was already done. Yeah, he'll be uploaded sometime within the next 2 weeks or so, I suppose, because I'm spreading the posts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just so many This manga is just, it's just so good. Murata's a beast. He's always going to be the beast. He's always going to be my favorite. He does things in this with pacing and the way he depicted things that I'm just like, come on, man, that's bullshit. That's nonsense. It's too good. See, as it'd be fantastic. Here's the thing about one of the major differences between comics and manga, other than just, you know, purely aesthetic, is pacing. Like that's why, you know, working on comics is, I love comics. I love the media of sequential storytelling. But it's completely different. There's the breathing space that you have in manga is just not the same in comics. It's not even just that they're visually more interesting. I think comics can be interesting too in terms of what they depict, but it's not the same. Like, the stories that they're telling aren't the same, and because of that, the methods and the steps that they have to take in order to tell this story aren't the same. I can't even imagine what Dragon Ball would look like in a comic, and not just due to the whole aesthetic, but pacing. They squeeze too much in comics into pages, into panels. Like, check out mangas, how it's like 3 panels, like 3-4 panels of action, of like individual shots within an actual page. Whereas if that were in a comic, they would try to somehow squeeze those 3 pages those 3 panels into like one panel as like a shadow effect or something. And it's fine, but it's like they want to put too much into it, I think. And I understand why they have to, because it's just a different thing. But yeah. Absolutely. Like, come on. Think about the way Murata depicts some of the fights in One Punch Man. It's you're seeing key frames of an animation, essentially. You know, and a lot of the fights would have ended way too quickly, or it would have been completely different had it been handled in an American comic. Mind you, American comics have their advantages. Like, color adds a lot. Now, I'm not saying color is superior, because you can do a lot with black and white and grayscale. You can do quite a lot with those things. But it's not the same. I love them both. Invincible absolutely is the closest thing in regards to American comics. I mean, I'd say Empowered, but that's, to me, Empowered is manga. And not just because, the way it looks, but its storytelling format, its pacing, it is a manga when it comes down to it. Yes, Invincible is probably one of the closest things to reading a manga for me in regards to American comics. And I'm sure there are more examples, but I haven't seen any, like ones that I've not read. But Invincible is the one that I have read that feels the most. Like, even with their multiple panels, like, per page, it's not even about that, but they paced it so well in regards to the fights as well, the way the fights are handled, all that type of stuff. I'm looking forward to that cartoon, man. I'm curious how far they go into the story with that one too. Mm-hmm. Conquest. Come on, man. That's so shonen. You know? Well, Invincible is such a shonen book. Fully. Like fully. Love it. I love it. It's probably it is one of my favorite American comic books. Superhero ones, anyways. Just comics in general. What the hell? Alright, I got about 3 minutes. Yeah, I think they'll nail it, honestly. I don't know what the rating is going to be in the actual show. And I think, I mean, I know the people involved with like directing it and stuff, old mates of mine, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Like, and I know that they have a lot of respect for the source material as well. That's kind of like the thing that you'd want. You know, the people involved making it actually respect the source material. And not just doing it because this is a job that they have to do. Well, it is, but you know, it's something that they want to do. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know any. I don't have any information on it, and that's kind of like I'm gonna leave it at that because I was like, it's gonna be a nice surprise when I actually get a chance to peep it. I'm glad there's Prime here. I'm glad we have Amazon Prime here as well because now I can really like just dig into that, because if I didn't, I want to have to find ways to check that shit out. For real, an hour long each? Duh. That's fantastic. I don't know what grounds they're covering though. Very much looking forward to that one. That's something that it's high on my anticipated list for 2021. That and like a lot of the MCU Disney Plus shows. Those ones I'm super keen on. Super keen on. Should have talked about that today, actually. I'll talk about some of those tomorrow. All those announcements and shit. Wild, man. Wild stuff. Alright. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, I think this once I start hitting the second shadows, it's gonna be a lot better. How long have I been going for? 59 minutes. 59 minutes. Alright, it's 10 a.m. Thanks for watching, people. I'll be back to finish this thing off tomorrow, same time. Yeah. If you missed any of all the previous ones, again, they're archived on my YouTube page, so if you want to watch some of those, just head over there and watch that. So yeah, cheers, and I'll see you here again tomorrow.